Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Notes from the Shelf, where every book finds its reader. I'm Sarah, and I just saw the book of the month dropped for July, so I wanted to get into it. Let's see, there seems to be 7 books this month, which is quite a lot. First book is The Shampoo Effect by Ginny Jackson. This is contemporary fiction. I really like that cover, that style, that's really pretty. In a wise, poignant novel with sandy secrets, old friends learn new lessons about growing up at any age. It's about female friendships, suburban drama, marriage issues, and drug and alcohol use. I don't know, I could see that being like hit or miss. When Caroline Lash arrives in Greenhead, Massachusetts, she falls head over heels for Van Whitaker, a fleece-wearing, litter-collecting kayak enthusiast with long, floppy hair and the personality of a border collie. I love that. Born and raised in this picturesque coastal village, Van runs with the same crowd he did as a kid. His ex-girlfriend Bailey, a beautiful girl who attracts men like moths to a flame. Augusta, old money, horsey. What does that mean? Horsey and snobbish. And Fran, surrounded by brothers and sons, too fed up with boys to ever consider marrying one. So he's with all women, I guess? Together, the group runs wild through the marshes, beaches, and bars of Greenhead, drinking on houseboats, spending long afternoons sunbathing with their children, and playing games the way they always have. But when Bailey discovers that she is pregnant with Van's baby, the delicate balance of the group's friendship is thrown off. Ooh. Soon, Caroline is cast out of the circle, and what she does next, in a potent mix of fury and heartbreak, exposes long-held secrets and works the entire town of Greenhead into a lather. Oh, because it's shampoo. A lather. That's cute. I don't know, that does sound kind of interesting. I'm not sure I would buy it, though. I feel like I'd read it from the library. Okay, next option is In Stormy Weather by Chelsea Curto. I think that's how you say it. It's romance. I don't know, something about this cover I'm not sure I like, but maybe it's like too cartoony or something, but not cartoony enough. I don't know, it's like the uncanny valley, like between the cartoony ones and the more serious ones. I don't know, I do like the trees and the lightning, but ooh, meteorology is her passion, but even she couldn't forecast her change of heart in this enemies to lovers romance. I do love enemies to lovers. This has multiple viewpoints, salacious, brainy, and enemies to lovers. Meteorology, I feel like that's like I mean, that makes sense now, the cover and stuff. Although not what she's wearing. She would not be wearing that as a meteorologist. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a unique premise. I'm not sure I've seen that many books with meteorology in it. Nothing can rain on Quincy Monroe's parade. She's a woman in STEM with a PhD in atmospheric sciences, the host of a successful online weather show, and has 1 million followers on her meteorology Instagram. I actually really like this, that's her background. Quincy has spent endless hours forging her path in this male-dominated field, becoming one of the best in the industry. And with a new job opportunity, nothing can derail her success, except for the ill-timed arrival of Sebastian Dunn. Oh, Sebastian. Haven't heard that name in a while either in one of these. Sebastian is her best friend's brother, her long-suffering academic and professional rival, and a flashy TV weatherman from New York City that everyone swoons over. Everyone but Quincy, of course. She's not like other girls. Over a scorching Florida summer and record-breaking hurricane season, Sebastian and Quincy are forced into close proximity. Setting aside their grudges to chase storms and stay alive is one thing, but can they weather the inevitable collision of their hearts? I like the storm puns. I don't know, I could see really liking it, actually. Just something about the cover I'm not so sure about, but I think it's kind of unique. Meteorology setting. Of course, though, she's the only one that doesn't really like him, so I feel like that's kind of overdone. And her best friend's brother, that's kind of overdone too, but I don't know, I could dig it. I'm kind of interested. Next one is Pretty Dead Things by Kelsey Cox, which is a mystery. That's a really pretty cover too. What does it say up there? Beauty dies, secrets never do. It says on the cover. In this juicy mystery, pageant queens and wannabes hide glittering secrets that will have you clutching your pearls. Multiple viewpoints, drug and alcohol abuse, teens, and glamorous. If it involves teens, is it a YA or not really? Multiple timelines too, I guess. 2000, Isabel Whitmore vanishes at Sherman Ranch in Anhalt, Texas without a trace. Ooh. 25 years later, 2025, the annual Lone Star Princess pageant looms, bringing long-standing grudges to the surface. Ingrid fled Anhalt in the wake of her sister Isabel's disappearance and has now returned, just in time for a construction crew to start digging up Sherman Ranch. The pageant brings up past traumas that Melanie can't forget. Oh, a different person. I was like, who? Okay. Another woman. The pageant brings up past traumas that Melanie can't forget. Another woman, Kat, newly sober, starts to feel threatened in ways that bring back old demons. And Sarah Lynn, who comes from a long line of pageant winners, knows that losing is not an option. She's probably going to lose. When old resentments and new confrontations reach their boiling point, temperatures drop to deadly degrees as a record-setting storm brings down the state's power grid. Of course. It is Texas. With everyone trapped under one roof, scores will be settled and more than one person will end up dead. Some secrets are better left buried. Oh, so it's kind of a locked room mystery too? The killer's there still? Well, don't really know if Isabel died, though, if she disappeared without a trace. Does have content warnings. This book contains scenes depicting the death of a child and mentions of sexual assault. I mean, you think the same issue with her missing is going to come up here 25 years later? That's a long time. I don't know, I am a little intrigued. I don't think I would buy it. I feel like it'd be a good movie, maybe, but... Next option is The Winged Game by Sophie Kim. This is a fantasy. It says on the cover, what does it say? What? When rivals collide, sparks will fly. I think that's what it says. It's a little hard to read up there, but... Her greatest rival shattered her stardom. Now her only way back into the magical sport she loves is to fake date him. Ah, fake dating. I kind of do like that sometimes. But it's a romantasy. Slow build, multiple viewpoints, and salacious. Slow build is not always my thing. Carrie Witchett, the violent rugby-esque game played atop a winged beast, was once Taissa Cho's whole life. That's how I'm going to say her name. And she was once the United Kingdom's most promising player. Until her nemesis, rival player Keon Locke, destroyed her career in a single moment. Expelled from the sport in disgrace, Taissa has spent the last 2 years dreaming of nothing but revenge and relishing watching Keon's team plummet to the bottom of the league. I thought she meant plummet off the winged beast. She wants to see him die, but no, just to the bottom of the league. Okay. So when Taissa is offered the chance to redeem herself and her career, she can't refuse, even if the offer is coming from the very man who ruined everything in the first place. Really? I think I would refuse that. That's kind of crazy. He took her down and now he wants her on his team? I don't know about that. It's close to a dream come true, except for that pesky clause in her contract that demands she and Keon enter a fake relationship in order to garner some much-needed positive PR for the team. This sounds like a disaster. This could not be a worse match. Taissa and Keon only have 2 things in their love of the game and their undying hatred for each other. I think that 2 things in common, their love of the game and their undying hatred. Okay. Yet as a mysterious illness befalls the winged creatures of the entire league, putting both the beasts' lives and the very sport itself at stake, the athletes find themselves partnering up in other ways, determined to crack the case of the eerie sickness. As their investigation takes them on a whirlwind adventure, Keon and Taissa are prepared for anything. Anything that is, but they're fake for the camera's relationship to maybe, just maybe, become something real after all. No content warnings. I don't know, this is just Quidditch, but with a winged beast instead of a broom. I don't know, I'm not super interested in that, I guess. Next option, oh, I have seen this cover a lot of places. Everything Was Beautiful and Nothing Hurt by Ben Reeves. This is literary fiction and it is a debut. I really like that cover a lot. Heartwarming and tender, this unforgettable debut grapples with mortality from the perspective of Death himself. That sounds really interesting. This book is melancholy. Might make me sad. Oh, no quotation marks? Oh, sometimes I don't like that at all. I don't know. That kind of throws me off. Nonlinear timeline, multiple viewpoints. Oh my god, all of those together, I could see that really throwing it off. And it's magical, of course, because it's from Death. I don't know. Let's see. Travis is Death in the modern world. Travis. Oh my god. Okay. He wears jeans and a t-shirt and lives in a small gray town. His job is to offer people comfort in their final hours of life. He's stoic, gentle, and a little naive despite everything he knows. He's young and handsome despite who he is. Each death he witnesses is meaningful to him. He listens, never judges, and most importantly, never tries to change anyone's fate. He knows that every life must eventually end to maintain the balance of the universe, and he respects the cycle. Then he meets Dahlia, a midwife, and her boisterous 8-year-old daughter, Layla, who lives across the hall. As Dahlia and Layla come to embrace Travis, it becomes more difficult to maintain the detachment that's allowed him to function for so long. Their time together teaches him what's truly important in life and what might be irrevocably lost in death. The book does have a content warning and mentions suicides and the death of a child. I don't know, I'm really interested in this one, and I have seen it in a couple places, but just the no quotation marks, that just might be a little troublesome, I guess. But I don't know, it sounds right up my alley though. I might give it a shot, especially it being a debut. I really like checking out like new books like that. Next option, I've also seen this like everywhere, The Great Wherever by Shannon Sanders. This is also a debut in historical fiction. I kind of have to be in the mood for historical fiction, though. This sprawling historical saga captures the generational reverberations of a black family's reckoning with inheritance. Multiple viewpoints, nonlinear timeline, family drama, and magical. So yeah, I wonder how far it covers, because sometimes when it covers like years and years too, I kind of can't stay interested in it, just because it changes so many characters. But at 32, oh, me too. Aubrey Lamb is stumbling through adulthood. An underpaid gig worker in Washington, D.C., she's grieving the end of a serious relationship and the recent loss of her father. When Aubrey learns she has inherited his stake in a sizable Tennessee farm, she sees an opportunity to get out of the city and to erase a mounting pile of debt. Watching her arrival with great interest are 4 ghosts. Oh my gosh, I love that. I like that aspect. Aubrey's ancestors who've staked their own claims to the farm and who never hesitate to pass judgment on the mistakes made by the living, whether romantic, financial, or sartorial. As Aubrey reconnects with her living family, another story unfolds in parallel. The history of the land, beginning with its purchase by Thomas, Aubrey's great-grandfather and one of the first black landowners in his community. That's really cool. That would be cool to read. Though Thomas hopes to give his children a homestead on which they could flourish, the land proves to be a burdensome inheritance. Over the years, it turns the Lambs against one another, culminating in a catastrophic tragedy that splinters the family and echoes through the generations. Now, as the clock ticks on a potential sale of the farm, the ghosts fear expulsion from the home they've made, and Aubrey must weigh the hopes and burdens of her forebears with the very real needs of her future. Oh, so maybe like healing generational trauma too or something? Oh, it does have content warnings. Contains mentions of miscarriage, abortion, and the death of a child. I feel like that would be a really good read, but maybe also a little sad. Although it doesn't say it's sad, so family drama, though, I guess. I don't know. I am very interested in that, and I have seen it a lot of places. I'm not sure if I want to get it from here. Next, well, last option is Games, A Love Story by Anna Maria Volkova, which is a debut as well. It's a literary fiction. This darkly erotic tale of an unlikely relationship examines power, trauma, economics, and the forces shaping desire. This is highbrow, it says. Not sure I'm very interested in that. 400 plus pages, that's a lot. Cerebral, social issues, and extra spicy. Oh my god. What does say erotic? I'm not sure I'm like in the mood for that. When Lily Marwan, seeking to escape the unrelenting pressures of her master's thesis, recent rejection from her foster family, and unresolved grief from the death of her parents, has an intense one-night stand with Alexander Petrov, her restless mind finally goes calm. She's gonna get involved in with an older man. Ugh. At 22, Lily is already opinionated beyond her years. Whether it's astrology, democratic socialism, veganism, or the ravages of late-stage capitalism run rampant. Okay. But when a tall, dark stranger buys her a drink in a feedy bar, she meets her match. He's got to be like a fucking billionaire or something. Alexander is formidable, fiercely intelligent, and infuriatingly disarming. He's also 2 decades older than her, clocked that. A Capricorn, oh no, with a birth chart full of red flags, a neoliberal capitalist, and a strong believer in the power of free markets, having escaped the Soviet Union in its dying days. He's the opposite of Lily in nearly every way. He challenges her at every turn, and she can't stay away. Over the course of a heady New York City summer, Lily and Alexander reach across the divide of their differences and the decades of their lives, discovering startlingly shared experiences. Their casual arrangement, rough sex, hours where Lily does not need to make any decision, gives way fast to an unexpected intimacy, by turns breathtaking then devastating. This is like 50 Shades of Grey, but like capitalist. I don't know. I guess he's probably not a billionaire, but as Lily struggles to understand herself and the complicated threads of her ambition, pain, and desire, she will have to decide. Is she willing to risk great loss again for the hope of profit that is finally within reach? I don't know. She's got lots of trauma and issues, and he's taking advantage of that, I feel like. But does have content warnings, of course, rough sex and provocative relationship content, because it's an erotica. I don't know. And it's highbrow. I'm probably not gonna like this book at all. I don't know. I'm not gonna pick that. I'm kind of leaning towards Everything Was Beautiful and Nothing Hurt. But let's see what the new add-on options are. Oh, I really do want to get This Book Made Me Think of You too. And yesteryear, everyone's like going after that. So, July collections. Oh, the Centennial Edition from 1979, The Right Stuff by Tom Wolfe. I don't really know anything about this. About being an astronaut. He answers what it takes to be an astronaut, exploring both the mental and physical sacrifices that must be made by individuals entering space. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna get that. That's kind of cool though. The offset option is Learning by Courtney Bush, which is debut. I think that's just a hammer. That's interesting. These have interesting covers, these offsets. It says, "You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll need a nap." Learning is a playful debut about the beauty of coloring outside the lines. A young teacher at a Harlem daycare center finds purpose and joy in her work. She cherishes the quirks and tiny wisdoms of her 3-year-old students and strives to apply their uninhibited joy, curiosity, and openness to her own messy personal life. Read if you seek a tender novel about the inner child in all of us, or if a Pixar movie has ever made you sob. Well, that's probably something that's happened, but Big Feelings, Circle Time, Moana as Therapy. Oh, here's like the actual book blurb. Learning is a woman's account of a single Monday working in a progressive New York City daycare. The narrator, Courtney, spends her days in the Blue Room, guiding her 3-year-old students through the early lessons of their lives. Her consciousness flickers between the children, full of generosity, wonder, accidental brilliance, and infinite questions, and her life outside the classroom. While tying shoes and peeling clementines, Courtney returns to grief over the death of a hometown friend, her recent divorce, the hope of a new relationship, her family back in Mississippi, and thoughts on forgiveness, empathy, and her own capacity for cruelty. As the day goes on, a threat from the school director's ex-boyfriend introduces real danger, tilting the fragile order of the classroom towards chaos. Deeply felt, embracingly honest, learning enacts the complexity of consciousness, itself a balance of presence, memory, risk calculation, observation, imagination, and emergency. I don't know, I do kind of like that, like what am I trying to say? Like reflections of consciousness, I guess. What is consciousness? And her going back between being present and thinking of all these other issues, especially with like young kids. You kind of have to pretend everything's like amazing, but then you have all this other stuff in the background going on that you don't want them to know about, so it's hard to like balance that. I don't know if I will get this. I have not read Worry Doll still, so I might save this for later. But here are the actual like add-on options, new and recent add-ons. So it seems like there's 7 new add-on options. This first one is Fights by Scott McClanahan, contemporary fiction. This evocative novel is a slice of life look at the triumphs and tribulations of an emerging writer from West Virginia. This is experimental, so could get weird. Fast read, writer's life, drug and alcohol use, and under 200 pages. Fights is a novel set in the mountains of West Virginia in the indie literary scene in New York, uniting the 2 great love stories of Scott McClanahan's life, his wife, the writer Julia Escoria, and Tyrant Books publisher Giancarlo Di Trepano. In his first novel in 8 years, McClanahan interrogates the meaning of art, devotion, and destruction. Probably not gonna get that, but next one is The Mashup by Laura Marie Myers. This is a romance debut. I don't know. I feel some sort of way about that cover, but this playful rom-com is a love letter to growing up in the 2000s, listening to your heart and following your dreams. Millennial, salacious, magical, and enemies to lovers. Do like that. Ruby Wynn is a staunch rule follower who lives by the numbers. So when a surprising breakup on her 35th birthday ruins all her well-played plans, Ruby makes an unexpected wish, only to wake up inside a MASH game from 7th grade. Oh, God. What? She's in the game? Settled in a Technicolor mansion, driving a tie-dye Jeep, and running a roller disco restaurant, Ruby is living out her childhood dreams come true, with one exception. According to the game, Ruby's other half is supposed to be Penn Hayes, her brother's annoying and annoyingly handsome best friend. Oh my god, back to the brother's best friend, or best friend's brother, either way. Ugh. But there's zero romance between them. Just like in real life, all they share is sarcasm. With no rules to follow and desperate to return to reality, Ruby makes her best guess at an escape plan. Win Penn's heart so the game comes completely true and she can go home. It's unthinkable. On Ruby's list of do's and don'ts, Penn Hayes is a lifelong don't. But as Ruby navigates the magical world she dreamed up at 13, she wonders if, by finally throwing out her rules, she might just find her way home to the life and love she deserves. I don't know, it sounds like an interesting premise, but I'm probably not going to get that. Another option is Worse Than Strangers by Kaylee Letty, contemporary fiction. I've seen this cover a lot too. So let's see. Grab your sunscreen and cozy up under an umbrella. This heartwarming seaside story is perfect for your beach bag. It has multiple viewpoints based on a classic, light read, and second chance romance. There are a lot of romances this month, I feel like. Based on a classic. What classic? Rose and Lily are best friends first, mother-daughter second, which is good because right now, Lily could really use a friend. Recently fired from her New York City magazine job and heartbroken, Lily has fled to the family cottage in Syoskunset. That's how I'm going to say that. She is shocked when she stumbles across her first love at the grocery store holding hands with his new fiancé. A fiancé he never mentioned on their many, many late-night phone calls. Are you still friends with him? Why do you have so many phone calls with him? Rose has secrets too. A therapist about to start her own private practice, Rose's world is rocked by the handsome renter staying in their guest cottage, Thomas Wentworth. Wentworth. The one person she thought she would never see again, and the man who has always, unfortunately, held her heart. Oh, so hers is the second chance romance? Oh, okay. Modern retelling of Jane Austen's Persuasion, set against a backdrop of blue and purple hydrangeas, swollen brick sidewalks, tall sea grass, and uniform shingled houses. Lily and Rose Gardner's summer journey of second chances, healing, and hope begs the question. Can you repeat the past, and is it ever too late to try again? I don't typically like second chance romance. Is it second chance for both of them? Is she gonna come between him and his new fiance and wreck it? I don't really like that. I don't know. So I'm probably not gonna get that. Next option, another romance, Trope Sick by Lauren Oakey. Okay. Late night editing and big deadlines can't distract two writers from their rocky past and undeniable chemistry. Second chance romance again, salacious book about books and multiple viewpoints. I do like books about books. The second chance romance, though, I don't think I can do it. Katie Caruso is a completely normal 25-year-old girl. At least for the past 8 years, she's tried to be. 8 years? Since, what, 14? No, wait. I don't know. I'm having a day. Since 17? She likes glitter and sequins and flirting with cute boys at New York City bars. She's also a ghostwriter for Meredith Bradford, the best-selling romance novelist of all time. But then Tyler McNally, okay, walks back into Katie's life, and that bedazzled facade crumbles at her platform-sneakered feet. Katie and Tyler haven't seen or spoken to each other since the overdose death of Katie's older brother. Oh, a standout MLB pitching prospect. Tyler was her brother's best friend. Back to the brother's best friend. How many books this month are going to have that? And Katie, naturally, was the girl next door. But now Tyler is a sleeve-tattooed, Ivy League-educated, aspiring literary fiction novelist, 9 years sober, and Katie's writing partner for the summer. Okay, well, that sounds like he's changed a lot. As genre conventions require, Katie and Tyler soon find themselves removed from Manhattan and instead writing their love story in forced proximity at Meredith's isolated Southampton home. As the summer unfolds, the tropes Katie and Tyler have written into their novel begin to play out in their own lives. Really? They're like writing it out and then it happens? Call it destiny, fate, or magic, it's clear their love story is unfinished. This time, though, they'll fight for their happy ending. I don't know, it kind of sounds like, what was the newest Emily Henry book, The Great Big Beautiful Life? Kind of sounds like that. He does sound like he's changed a lot. She sounds like she hasn't changed at all, so that's interesting. I don't know. I'm not going to buy it probably. I could see reading it, but I'm kind of tired of second chance romance and brother's best friend or best friend's brother or whatever. Another romance option, Romantic Hero by Kirsty Greenwood. Sparks fly when a romance author's fictional cowboy appears in the real world. We'd surely call this their first rodeo. That's interesting. Her character comes to life. Slow build, salacious, magical, and book about books. Gertie Bickerstaff writes happily ever afters for a living, or she did until her own love life fell apart. Now her ex is thriving, her deadline is looming, and she can't write a single word. She's got the yips. The last thing Gertie needs is more drama, like waking up to find a confused and rugged cowboy on her sofa. That would be insane. And not just any cowboy, but River Oakley, the villain from her unfinished novel. The villain. Okay. Somehow very real and very shirtless. River wants to go home. Gertie wants her life back. So they strike a deal. He'll use his cunning ways to help her win back her ex. She'll finish the novel. And surely he'll return to whatever world he rode in from. But as River Oakley proves to be so much more than just the bad guy, Gertie has to choose. The ending she thought she wanted, or the plot twist she never saw coming. Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's good to try to go after your ex. And that's not going to help you finish your book, I feel like, either. But it's interesting that it's the villain. I thought it'd be like the main character from her book, like the main guy, but that sounds kind of interesting. Again, like I don't read a lot of romance, so I'm not going to get it probably from book of the month, but it does sound interesting. I'm going to have to add it to my TBR, my ever-growing TBR. Next option is Ruinous Inns by Ivy Marie, which is fantasy, and you can get sprayed edges for extra. It's kind of pretty. I can't read what it says on the front since it's not facing me. What does that say? I don't know. I can't read that. And this enchanting sequel. Oh, a sequel. Was the first one there? Former Blackwood Academy students scramble to decide the fate of the afterlife. 400 plus pages, graphic violence, multiple viewpoints, and second in the series. Is there, the first book, Immortal Consequences. I didn't read that one, so I'm not going to get this one, but I will read what it says. The decennial is over, but for the students of Blackwood Academy, the fight for the afterlife has just begun. The infamous school was hiding more secrets and lies than any of the decennial's participants could have imagined. And there's still so much that remains buried beneath its ancient foundations. Now the future of the academy and all the souls within it rests in the hands of 6 former pupils. The charmer and the golden boy, the traitor and the girl desperate to save her, the chosen one and the one who will choose her over and over again. Are these pairings, like romantically? Any of them could be the hero the afterlife needs, or the villain who will destroy it for good. Because the truth is, Blackwood's biggest secret has yet to come to light, and when it does, it will shake the institution to its core. Yeah, I did not read the first one. I'm not going to get this one. Sounds kind of interesting, though. Last add-on option, new add-on, is another romance. So many romances. Christina Lauren. I have read a couple of hers. The Romance Revival. I do love this cover. That's really pretty. This gripping love story offers a fresh take on mortality, memory, mystery, and a little bit of magic. Has multiple viewpoints, magical, quirky, and salacious. 3 years ago, Emery Finch did something completely out of character. She got married to Luca, the impossibly charming landscaper she met on one blistering night in Vegas, who made her laugh, made her dance, made her feel. A Vegas wedding? Oh. But now Emery is consumed by her top secret job, missing dinners, forgetting anniversaries, and promising herself Luca will understand once her cutting edge research comes to light. Until the unthinkable happens. A tragic accident takes Luca from her. I don't know why I cannot talk today. Desperate not to lose him, Emery breaks every rule to bring him back, and Luca would probably thank her for it if only he could remember her. Oh. Their first kiss, their sunny Sundays at the beach, the life they built together, all of it is gone. It may be a miracle of science, but for Emery, it's her one shot at a second chance. And this time she won't waste it, because true love is always worth reviving. What's her top secret thing? Like bringing people back from the dead? I get the name now, The Revival. I don't know, I do sometimes like her books. I haven't read any of those. I don't know, I really do like the cover. I might save it as a potential to get later, but none of these add-ons are really like, I'm not really feeling them at all. Out of the July books, The Shampoo Effect did sound interesting. I might need to look at that a little bit more. I think I'm gonna go with Everything Was Beautiful and Nothing Hurt, though. Even though it does have no quotation marks, so that might be a little hard to read, but that's kind of what I'm leaning towards as my main pick. I do have like an extra credit, so I might get something else or something from a past month that I've been looking at. But let me know what you're picking if you have book of the month. What are you interested in? Is anything catching your eye with this one? I feel like some of these are kind of out there. So interested to hear your opinions on that. But that's it for this video. If you liked the video, be sure to like it and share it with a fellow book lover. If you want to check out the book of the month subscription, I'll put my referral link in the description. Also, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more Book of the Month videos. I do try to also make 2 other types of videos per month beyond Book of the Month, so check those out as well. If you want more content, there's the podcast that is posted every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Central Time on all platforms under Notes from the Shelf. So there's some good stuff over there, like books I've DNF'd or underrated books I feel like no one is talking about. So go check that out and subscribe there as well. And then you can also check out the blog, notesfromtheshelf.com. I do post there twice a week, and we're coming up on 2 years of doing that. So there's a lot more content over there. A lot of like book reviews, but also author interviews and bookstore reviews. So subscribe there as well. If you subscribe, you'll get a free 1-page book review printable sheet as kind of a thank you. But anyway, that's it for this video. So until next time, happy reading.